Propaganda floods our minds when we think about controversial topics like abortion. But what are the facts? Let us form our own opinions after listening to the facts surrounding the abortion procedure. This is abortion. You decide. The three most common abortion procedures are vacuum aspiration, dilation and curettage, and dilation and evacuation. In the United States, vacuum aspiration is the most common method of abortion used within the first 12 weeks of pregnancy. There are two types of vacuum aspirations available. A manual vacuum aspiration is operated manually using a handheld syringe attached to a long, thin tube. Specialists insert the thin tube through the cervix into the uterus and then suction the tissue out of the uterus. A machine vacuum aspiration is very similar, differing only in that the long, thin tube is attached to a specialized vacuum. This gentle vacuum draws the tissue out of the uterus. Another common procedure is called dilation and curettage, or D&C for short. This type of surgical abortion is used to terminate a pregnancy up to 16 weeks gestation. In this procedure, the vagina is spread open and a scraping or suction instrument is passed through the cervix and into the uterus to remove tissue from the lining of the uterus. The final most common procedure is called dilation and evacuation, or D&E for short. A D&E is used to terminate pregnancy after 16 weeks gestation. A suction catheter is used to suction out the amniotic fluid. Specialists then use a Sofer clamp. A Sofer clamp is 13 inches long, made of stainless steel, and has on one end jaws containing rows of sharp ridges or teeth. This instrument is for grasping and crushing tissue. To use this clamp, specialists grasp something inside, squeeze to set the jaws, and pull really hard. When grasping the head of the fetus with the clamp, a pure white gelatinous material will issue from the cervix. This was the fetus brain. Regardless of the procedure used, all abortions terminate a pregnancy. Specialists decide which method to use based on the stage of pregnancy at the time of operation. So let's review. Vacuum aspiration occurs during the first 12 weeks of pregnancy. D&C occurs up to 16 weeks. D&E occurs in between week 16 and week 36. At 37 weeks, abortions are not legal in a number of states except in certain medical conditions, as the fetus is legally considered full term. Knowing the abortion procedures are important, but this knowledge is incomplete without the understanding of what is happening inside of the uterus at the time of the abortion. Let's explore the 3 trimesters, working backwards from the least to most common stage to get an abortion. The 3rd trimester covers weeks 29 through 40. At this stage, D&E is used. About 1% of all abortions occur at 22 weeks or over. In the year 2009, there were over 11,000 abortions during the 3rd trimester. The 2nd trimester covers weeks 13 through 28. At this stage, specialists can either use the D&E or D&C, depending on the stage of pregnancy. About 10% of all abortions occur past the 13th week. The fetus is undergoing numerous changes at this time. At 16 weeks, muscle tissues and bones begin forming a more complete skeleton. The fetus can make a sucking motion. At 20 weeks, there are eyebrows, eyelashes, fingernails, and toenails. The fetus can scratch itself, swallow, and hear. At 24 weeks, there are taste buds, footprints, fingerprints, hair, and lungs. The bone marrow can make blood cells, and the hand and startle reflexes are developing. Finally, the 1st trimester are weeks 1 through 12. At this stage, the vacuum aspiration method is used. About 90% of all abortions occur during the first 13 weeks. At 4 weeks, the fetus has a brain, spinal cord, heart, arms, and legs. At 8 weeks, there are eyelids, sex organs, an umbilical cord, and the heart beats with regular rhythm. At 12 weeks, the nerves and muscles are working together. The fetus can make a fist and the external sex organs begin to show. Let's review. Less than 1% of all abortions occur during the third trimester using D and E. 10% of all abortions occur during the second trimester using either D and C or D and E. 90% of all abortions occur during the first trimester using vacuum aspiration. Everyone may have a different opinion concerning abortions, but there is one thing on which we can all agree. This is an important issue. 1 out of every 3 women will have an abortion by the time they are 43 years old. In 2008, an estimated 1.21 million abortions were performed in the United States. In 2009, the abortion ratio was 227 abortions per 1,000 live births. Propaganda may flood our minds when we think about topics like abortion, but now hopefully we can make sense of the issue by remembering the facts that surround the abortion procedure. This is abortion. You decide.